Hello to everybody watching this video, and Mr. Pimple right on my face. Look at him, he's grown up now. They grow up so fast. So I just decided to make the most of the weekend and decided to just film a video to talk to you guys about how I'm gonna make the most of the rest of the year now that a lot of it has been ruined. But first, please go ahead and grab yourself a snack or a drink because I'm gonna go grab myself a bag of chips. Just wanted to pop in here to say that yes, I actually am wearing my hoops just to go pick up a bag of chips because that's the only thing that's exciting in my life this year. So it's actually been 24 hours since I recorded that previous clip, and I wanted to make the most of my evening by filming a YouTube video, but I got busy, okay you guys. I was really busy with important chores and important tasks to do at home. But now that we're back, let me tell you guys, I enjoyed my chips thoroughly and so did the acne on my face. We're all living our best life right now. So my little diary is back, and I've listed down things that I think I can do in the coming year to make the rest of 2020 useful for myself. It's a very short list and it's specifically curated for myself, but I think this is going to be beneficial to a lot of you watching too. So the very first thing that I think I can do for the coming year, and I sort of already have been doing this summer, is to have my goals broken down into little bits instead of focusing on just the final goal. I've noticed that for myself, I'm personally an either or person. I'm either looking at only the bigger picture or looking at the details and getting lost in them and getting anxious about them. So this year, for the coming year, I'm trying my best to combine those two and try to look at the details but not focus on them to the point where I get anxious, but instead take a look at the smaller details, see how they're affecting my larger goals, and then move on from it. I think this type of mindset has especially been useful for me for work. I try my best to break down really big goals into smaller tasks with smaller timelines, and it's helped me become more efficient. There are lots of tools that you can use for this. I use OneNote to track everything, my work life and my personal life, and I think it's amazing because it allows me to put a little checkbox next to my tasks and then I can say whether it's done or not. I could do a whole video about to-do lists and how much I love them. But anyway, I think whether it's in the form of tasks or just milestones, it's so good to list down your large goal into smaller little pieces that seem more achievable, because I don't think anybody's a fan of paralysis due to fear or due to anxiety. It happens way too often to a lot of us where we're so into doing something but then we end up getting just paralyzed by the thought of the amount of work required, so we don't even begin. And so for the coming year, this is something I want to avoid for myself. I've been pretty okay at it in the summer, but it would be amazing to just lock that type of habit down. And on the note of writing things down and making lists, another thing that I really want to do in this coming year is to reflect. Whether it's with a journal, making a YouTube video, or debriefing with family and friends, I think reflection is amazing. Oh my god. I think normally I am someone who reflects quite a bit, and I talk to people about how I feel about certain situations pretty right off the bat. I don't really wait for things to build up. But all the reflection I was doing earlier this year and previously was subconscious or very casual. But this year I've learned to tease out how I feel about situations in more detail. I now have enough time to consciously reflect, whether it's by calling up a friend and debriefing with them about, oh, how did you feel about that very specific thing, or writing down in my journal. And I think this gift of time, it didn't show up out of nowhere. Like, I already had that time. I still had 24 hours before quarantine and I still have 24 hours now. But now I'm learning to make time to reflect. And I think for the coming year, I really want to try and keep doing that. I've stopped taking everything that happens as random occurrences and actually started to think about reasons behind why I act a certain way or why someone else might be behaving a certain way. And it's been so helpful. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I'm trying my best in this coming year to not let things happen to me and to actually make things happen for myself. And there's a small difference between the two. Even if the result that's achieved is the same with both methods, I would much rather have it done the second way, where I was more conscious of my actions and that's what led to the result, versus I just let nature or other people or whatever happen to me and then that was the final result. And the last thing on my list for this year is to do one new thing. So actually, I don't know if you guys can see this little piece of paper hanging on my cupboard, but that actually was my original list this year for things that I wanted to do and things I wanted to learn. But each of those activities requires me to get out of my house unnecessarily and interact with people unnecessarily. So unfortunately for me, pretty much all the activities that I wanted to learn this year get pushed on to next year or the year after that, depending on whenever it's safe for us to do all that. But for me, I'm gonna make my new thing for the coming year YouTube. Even though I've been doing it for almost 2 months at this point, I'm still really new and the learning curve is extremely steep. So I think for me, learning new parts and improving with every video for the coming year is an achievable goal and something I actually really want to do. Guys, 5 months is enough time to learn something new, so I actually urge all of you to try and think of any interest that you'd like to cultivate or any hobby that you want to become better at in the coming year. Let's not put so much pressure on January 2021. It already has a lot to live up to, so let's try and make the most of whatever is left of this shitty year. Who knows, maybe you'll pick up a hobby and then you'll be like, maybe 2020 wasn't that bad after all. So I highly recommend trying to do that. And then while you're at it, why not reflect on how learning that hobby went? Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you ended up making it this far in the video, hit the subscribe button while you're at it. But if you don't feel like it, no pressure at all. I hope you guys are having a great day or night wherever you are. Bye. Also, shout out to these dad Crocs. They're so comfortable. I don't care how ugly they are.